Good morning, Aries. How are you? Today is August 4th, 2024, and there is a new moon happening as I write to you. It will be perfect in about an hour, but close enough. And so I wanted to wait and do this under that energy because this is a really interesting new moon for us. It's in Leo in our solar fifth house. And so it's very much about a really beautiful influx of new energy into your creativity, into things that you want to birth. And today is 8/12 and 8/4, which is a 12, so 3. So responds to the Empress energy. And the card that flew out, I love my flyers. So the card that flew out was the rainbow. So I'll read that to you in a second. But this is very much there's a lot of planets also at 29 talking about endings. So very much an important time of endings and new beginnings. But very much not just about new beginnings that you create, right? Also from the things that you make, whether they are food, content, intelligence, whatever it is that you do for a living or that you do for passion, where you express yourself creatively in the world, the children you may be having metaphorically and real. This is a very powerful energy towards that. At the exact same time that we're having very powerful energy on endings. And now one thing I did want to mention, and I don't know why, it was just sort of really calling my attention out, is that, kind of no, I don't want to say red flag, but like, hey, be careful, because today, or right now, the North Node is at 9 Aries, and it is continuing to move backwards through the sign, and it will leave Aries and move into Pisces on January 11th, I believe. So that means 1/10 is the last day of North Node in Aries. And that's when you really should have this cycle completed. So if you're feeling stuck, or if you're like, no, I'll just keep putting it off, remember that just because the energy exists doesn't mean it's going to happen for you, right? I can put a cake in front of you, but if you don't eat it, you didn't have the cake, right? So the energy is available. There is big 18-year life-changing energy that has been happening for the last year and a half-ish. And it will be with us until January. So really try and capitalize on this energy right now. Don't let it pass you by, especially if you're looking to make big changes in your life. Okay, so 41 here, the rainbow. It says, the rainbow symbolizes the 7 steps of a true spiritual path, which manifest as the colors of the 7 chakras. In the Himalayas, the rainbow body is seen as the full realization of our essence. The rainbow also represents the bridge between the physical and the spiritual. At the end of our lives, we can journey across the rainbow bridge to the highest heavenly realms. When the rainbow appears, it is an affirmation that all is well and you are in the right relationship with spirit. The rainbow tells you that the end of the storm is near, right? Like I said, there's lots of ending energy happening right now. There's lots of new beginning energy. The month of August has Mercury going retrograde. We have Mercury retrograde starting tomorrow. And then we have eclipses starting already in September. So it's going to be a pretty busy fall, let's say, lots of pieces moving around, to kind of also tire kick your desires. Like, are you sure you're doing what you want to be doing? Persevere and remember that it is darkest just before the dawn. And I say that because the energy of I mean, it's written here, but the energy of August can be challenging. Let's put it that way. Do not give up hope. Things are about to take a positive turn. Listen for the morning rooster that announces the coming of the dawn, even while the night is still darkest. Do not claim victory yet or let your guard down fully, right? Especially as we move into this retrograde, you may be thinking like, yay, ooh, I got it. Like I had kind of like a breakthrough the other day on a project I wanted to build. I put down all my notes, was ready to like start moving forward. And I was like, no, wait 1 second. Let's see what happens during the retrograde. And then if I'm still in it to win it in September, then let's go for it. So it says, don't get caught in the pursuit of an illusion of the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Find the treasure now in the moment by coming into the right relationship with those around you. All your gifts are at hand, so obvious you may have missed them. Interesting. And that was another thing. Like I've been struggling on like how to put together all the different pieces of my work, et cetera, et cetera. And like I said, I had this breakthrough come through like, oh, wow. Except it was the most obvious thing. I was like, why didn't I think of that years ago? Be true with your intentions. Do not be led astray by daydreams. So this is, it's warning you. It's a heads up to be serious about what you're doing. To not be like, oh, that get rich quick scam sounds like a plan. Is it something that can go the distance? Is this something that you want to put your name to? Is this something that you want to feel as your legacy? Is this something you can nurture and grow into the future for the next few years? 18 to be precise. Okay, what do we have here? Oh, the fives, man. The five came out in the reading for the members too, the five. Here we have the 5 of Pentacles, right? And this is a 41, so it's a 5 as well. Turning point, shifting, things are shifting, not quite there, but also a little bit of a challenge. Challenging your energy, challenging your choices, challenging what you have accepted to this point in order to make modifications to get to the end. Now here we have the 5 of Pentacles. So as the challenge, now this can be that sort of like poverty mentality or lack mentality, or it may actually be quite real that it's finances that are holding you back. I have just put all of a bunch of new amulets here that I charged under this moon for calling in abundance. And so if there is a feeling of lack, if there is a financial lack, then we know that what we need to create is opportunity for abundance, for prosperity, for money, for work, and to be very serious about it, to look at our situation with very serious eyes, as opposed to, sure, no problem. I'll get that. That'll be easy. Okay, let's get this. What is the lesson energy for this week? August 4th, 2024. Okay, the animal guardian, trust your instincts. Let's see what this says. It is so hot here, it's crazy. Okay, 100. It's like literally 100 degrees too. Anyway, trust the powerful animal spirit within you to learn more about yourself and your talents. This is the second, third time that the word talents has come up, right? In a very creative new moon, what are your talents? How are you putting them to use? Are they being best put to use? Are they being used in a way that can be nurtured and grow over the next 18 years? Is there's an obvious answer somewhere to unlock prosperity, to unlock the next step that you may not be seeing? The animal guardian is the card that represents the angels of the animal kingdom. Animals are angels of nature who have incredible lessons to offer and medicine that can support you on your spiritual journey and help you survive some of your greatest challenges. Also, third time we've heard the word challenges. When you connect with the energies of animals, you can learn a lot about yourself and the earth. You also have instinctive animal energy within that can direct you towards everything you need and more. The Animal Guardian card depicts a tribal angel being held and supported by her animals. She has love for them and they have a love for her, demonstrating how incredibly connected nature is with the spiritual realms. And it says you have a powerful animal within that can be wild, protective, instinctive, and even calm. Animals don't second guess how they feel. They express it, and you can learn from that. When this card arises, it's important to connect with how you really feel. And that came up here also, and also here. Like, no gaslighting yourself, no bullshit. Like, what is actually happening and how do I feel about that? Take the time to connect with your animal energy and express it naturally. Let even the fiercest energy move through you before returning to your natural state. It will teach you a lot about your gifts, same word, and how you can grow. Okay, let's see what comes out from the tarot. Right, so with all these fives here, Three of Swords and the Sun, ending, new beginning. With all these fives here, this is really a turning point, an important turning point. Right? And so it's like, trust your instincts about something that's, a situation you've been trying to resolve. Be honest with yourself, not living in a state of illusion. But also how it's like the next steps are going to come through your gifts and your talents. So what are they? Where else can they be used? What is there? Is there a, Jesus, Eight of Swords. This is the second reading that I've had with, there's like really intense energies. Which is funny because if you look on YouTube, everybody's like, everything's happening for you now, Aries. I'm like, why am I getting all these cards? All right, what else do we have here? The Hierophant. Okay, about commitment, long-term commitment, another 5. Let's get one more card. And, the thing is that I do feel like I'm 100% on board with the fact that like everything is happening. There's huge change happening for us. There's the chance to rewrite your entire existence, and the Hermit. But you have to be willing to let go of something, willing to be honest, and willing to take a chance on something else. And at this point, it's kind of calling you to use, like I said, your talents, your creative abilities, like what it is that you're here to create, what it is that you are here to do. And as Aries, we are the breakthrough sign, right? We push things, and it's quite uncomfortable because we see things before they happen, or we can feel things before we happen, and then we got to wait for everybody else to catch up. So anyway, we have the Eight of Swords here, Hierophant, and the Hermit, right? And so it's like, kind of worried, concerns about what you're building, what you should do next, essentially. And the answer is to go within, study, but like really tap into your internal voice. What do you want to do? What talents are you not using? How else can you use these talents that you haven't necessarily considered before? What innovative but simple way can you do what you're doing differently than you've done it thus far, right? Because again, we keep getting these 5. So it's about a turning point. It's about changing the direction, shifting the direction, seeing what has happened in the, it's the midway point. You've seen what's happened in the past, and you're looking at taking stock for what needs to shift for the future. I want to get a piece of advice here to wrap this all up. And I think you really want to use this. Oh, that's so funny because 555, tomorrow is the 5th. And good luck. Hey. Tomorrow is the 5th, and the 5th is when the retrograde starts. So I think this is going to be a very important retrograde for us. Pay attention. This is a very auspicious card to receive at the end of all this kind of like news here. Let's read that. Okay, it says, having faced hardship and misfortune, a little bit of luck will be a welcome relief for you. By stepping away from a negative outlook, you've invited in a magical force that supports the fortuity you wish for. So look out for synchronicity and meaningful coincidences that negate your bad periods and that usher in a change of fortune. Think black cats, horseshoes, four-leaf clovers to ensure that luck is most certainly on your side. Now is your chance to grab a fortuitous opportunity and take advantage of this prosperous energy of lucky charms, for you're blessed with a lucky streak. And it says there's a change for the better. Lucky energy surrounds you right now. Grab opportunities with both hands, and a black cat signals a lucrative win, which is interesting because we got this animal guardians, right? And it says pay attention to the animals. So these two cards are clearly speaking to each other. What I would advise here is some kind of manifestation ritual today. Between today and the 5th. I think, let me just Google this for a second. I mean, yeah, we're in the stationary period, so it is what it is. Mercury retrograde. I want to see what time. Okay, so it says 10:25 a.m., but this is Hindustan time, so I don't know. It doesn't say what time. All right. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Oh, they're all Indian papers. And I know it's like 4.5 hours from here, but that's like way too much work for me to try and figure out. I think it's during the overnight. So basically, try and find some time today, Sunday, to do a new moon manifestation ritual where you speak in present terms of the way you're using your talents and what, again, very specifically, even like put a price on it or a number on it, what you expect to receive in exchange for those talents, right? Like, I am so happy to be writing this, earning yada, yada, yada. And then if you write on a piece of paper, you want to fold it to you so that it brings it to you. There's lots of different, they call them spell work, but manifestation ritual is the same, that you can find on the internet. I would highly advise that you do that. And then I would highly advise that you spend this retrograde period being brutally honest, but also brainstorming what other ways can this skill, whatever your skill is, be used. Who else might be interested in what I have to say, do, cook, etc., etc.? What would be another way that I might be able to use this? Does it have to do with animals? There's something that's trying to come out here that you have to channel out of the universe in order to see it. But, again, like I said, at the end of the day, this is a very auspicious card to get. It says that things are on their way. I do think we need to sort of make it through this retrograde period, and then of course we'll have the eclipses, which will move things along. But you want to get to the end of the month, the 28th of August, with a pretty clear idea of, oh, you know what else I could do? You know what else might be fun to do? Phrases like that, like what would be a fun way to use my X talent for? Who is a population, animals, children, uh, you know, actors, musicians, whatever? Who is a population that might be interested in what I produce? And start to think about things in a different way, and just write, like do free writing in the morning. Ask the question, like write it at the top, and then just start writing. Don't judge anything that you're writing. Don't reread it. Just write. And then when you're done, you'll know when you're done. Then go back and look at it and be like, oh, okay, this is interesting. Like start to pull extracts or extract information out of your own mind. But you need to shut off, because we have the Eight of Swords here. You need to shut off the conscious mind and tap into something a little bit deeper. If you have a spirit animal or an animal amulet, work with that. If, maybe go devote time or donate time in an animal shelter and see what happens. It's the message is that the animal kingdom is in some way trying to reach out to us. I hope this was helpful. Wishing you a very lovely week, and I will see you next time. Take care.